Good evening, Inspirata. Thank you for coming out to our last board meeting of the 2023 year. We're going to call the meeting to order straight at 6 o'clock. We have an established quorum. We haven't changed our board, same board members, so I'm not going to go around and introduce. Opening homeowner forum. Do we have any questions or concerns regarding anything on the agenda? Okay, I know we didn't get any kind of comments from the videos. So moving on. Action items. Approved minutes of regular session meeting. The board will consider action to adopt the minutes of the last board of directors regular session meeting held on July 18th, 2023. Motion to approve.
Motion.
Second. Ooh, these guys are fast. All in favor, aye. Financial statements, review and accept financial statements. The board will consider action to approve the association's monthly financial statements for the period of June, July, and August 2023, subject to audit. Motion to approve, subject to audit.
Motion.
Second. All in favor? All right, management committee report, city of Henderson update. Former Councilwoman Jerry Schroeder will provide a report on behalf of Councilman Shaw's office, as well as a street light repair update. Jerry, you are up.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. It's great to be here today. I'm going to go as quickly as possible. Two things: the night came on, and Big Brother's on. So, Henderson Police Department has a temporary certificate of occupancy, and it's still in place. City's waiting for Cox Communication. They're holding up, setting up a city network that will allow a true move-in. So almost done. They're just waiting for the Cox. Inspirata Station Hotel and Casino. This casino was approved. This site since 2006, way long ago. The development agreement and future design review for overall site layout and architecture of new casino is tentatively scheduled for the November 16th Planning Commission meeting. So if you have any concerns or any questions, November 16th Planning Commission meeting. There's a lot of projects going on. We've got apartments over at Via Inspirata and Via Da Vinci, this north of Mira Inspirata, and these are just north of the Mira Inspirata senior apartments. We've got at Via Centro, northeast of Atesta, some apartments going there. And we've got Via Centro North apartments, that's directly south of the Via Centro South location. Hot Automation, which is going to be at the northeast corner of Via Inspirata and Via Nobilia. Staff approved the minor amendment on October 13th, 2022, last year, to reduce square footage and establish a phase 2 expansion for building 1. The development remains in compliance with the Hot Development Agreement. So that's still ongoing. Doesn't say when they're going to start their developments, but it's still ongoing for those people who haven't seen anything happen yet. What's going on with us? So it's still in the stages. Fontaine West End expansion, northwest corner of Bruner Avenue and Raiders Way. This is the second phase of an industrial development for the Toronto Bakery, consisting of 169,209 square feet of warehousing and distribution facility. This was approved by the Planning Commission last November 10, 2022. Via Inspirata and Volunteer Commercial, southeast corner of Via Inspirata and Volunteer Boulevard. This was approved by the Planning Commission on March 16th. It will have a drive-through Dutch Brothers and a drive-through Chipotle.
Yes.
That's good. It doesn't take much to read everybody. M Resort expansion, and we all know where the M Resort is. The expansion includes 375 room hotel tower and a 33,300 square foot convention and meeting space. This was approved by the Community Development Services Department on July 20th this year. Streetlights, we go. Inspirata built, I'll go ahead and read the whole thing here because that's a big interest. Inspirata Builders, the city and the homeowners association have proposed retrofitting a portion of existing bell lights with Cobra head armed assemblies to address failing units and provide a better lighting profile. Under this scenario, the HOA will benefit from cost savings, and the city would assume maintenance of the new standard assemblies going forward. The fixture purchase has been approved and the light fixtures have been received. About half of the mass armed were delivered in mid-February, and the remaining items are expected the first week in April. I think that was last time. The city has completed installation of our 20% Inspirata Builders contractor, which started work the week of March 20th. So it's ongoing, but at least it's getting done. Development along Volunteer. There's several housing developments under design and construction along the south side of Volunteer from the Inspirata to Gillespie. Via Novelia, from Via Inspirata to Las Vegas Boulevard, full roadway improvements continue. Projects include flood control facilities, traffic signals, and water and sewer line construction. The ribbon cutting was held April 12th. And under the Via Novelia contract, the city has entered into an agreement with Nevada Energy to install the Henderson Hospital feeder and Henderson West feeder infrastructure. Multiple intersection traffic signal projects, design of traffic signals at the intersections of Gillespie and Volunteer, and Bermuda and Volunteer, Bermuda and Erie, and Amiga and Erie. Streetlights will be added on Volunteer between Gillespie and Bermuda as well. This project includes various traffic signals north of St. Rose Parkway and miscellaneous areas of small roadway improvements. Overall design is expected to complete in fall of 2023, and then the project will move into construction. Eastern Avenue from Horizon Parkway to Anthem Parkway, rehabilitation of pavement and ADA enhancements at various locations. ADA enhancements being that whenever they tear up a road, where the sidewalks are, and you have the ADA ramps that cross the street. It used to be where it would dip like this. Well, now what they're spreading it out to make it more convenient for scooters, bigger scooters, and larger wheelchairs. And if you have triplets, maybe a bigger stroller. Center Type Parkway, Levi's to Costco, construction of a new roadway from the edge of the Levi's property to Costco. This project consists of roadway construction, including median islands, street lighting, storm drain culverts, and water lines. A turn pocket and signal relocation were added to the project at Raiders Way and was completed in September. Infrastructure at Via Inspirata and Via Da Vinci signal, construction of a new traffic signal at the Via Inspirata and Via Da Vinci intersection. Design is about 90% complete, but has been put on hold until the adjacent development site plans which impact the signal are designed. Gillespie Street from St. Rose Parkway to Bruner Avenue. This is new roadway construction. The project is in the final design phase and is tentatively scheduled to advertise for construction in fall of 2023. And then finally, council conversations. Councilman Dan Shaw. A lot of people say, well, where is he? When can we see him? He's going to be here. He will be hosting the council conversations on Monday, November 6th at 4 o'clock at the Center of Excellence, which is at 2200 Via Inspirata. So that's not that far away. Center of Excellence is brand new. It's got our former mayor, Deborah Marsh. Her name is on the campus. So that's going to be on November 6th at 4 p.m. And you can go and talk to him. He'll give an update on what's happening in Henderson, just like I do here, but he gets more in depth. He'll go over the whole city. And then if you have any questions for him, what's going on, there will be staff there, will be there too, that will be able to answer questions. If you have any issues, they're going to be there for that too. So you can find out what's going on from there, although most of you pretty much know because of these reports, but sometimes we go in a little bit more in depth with the rest of this. So that is my report. If you have anything else, contact Henderson. Please go to contacthenderson.com and you can ask your questions there as well. And I'll be able to answer. So that is my report.
Thank you, Jerry.
Thank you.
All right, Henderson update. As of August 31st, there were 5,909 units paying assessments. This number includes homes in 10 benefited service areas that are fully built out, as well as 1,127 city homes. Builder reports. KB Home is a Remagen builder. there was a total of 165 KB home closings for the third quarter, primarily in Village 6 and TC 1. So after Jeff gives his facility department update, he will start opening the sealed bids for the agenda items. So you're up.
Sure.
Excuse me? Jeff, go ahead.
Now, I got a question about this item right here, and I understand there's questions. But the report should have on it, because I was here the first night, is how many houses have been turned over to the HOA and how many of the estimated remainder homes by the builder.
165 were turned over in the third quarter.
Okay, 165, I got that.
We don't know how many remaining homes there are
Why do you?
because they're still building. We don't know what areas are still going to be developed.
So there's not a, I'm sorry, I can see the expression on your face, don't bother me. It's okay, continue.
Jeff, go ahead.
Pool heaters have been turned off as of Monday, October 16th, and close of the 2023 pool season. Pool heaters will be turned back on mid-March of 2024. Pavers throughout the Salisa Community Center were cleaned and seal coated. Brightview has completed this year's spring plant tree replacements project. They are currently working on this year's decorative rock refreshment that is being applied to common area streetscapes throughout villages 2 and 3 and city-owned properties in pods 2, 3, and 4. Irrigation timers were reset to 3 watering days, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays for the fall season, September through October, per the Southern Nevada Water Authority schedule for the Innsbruck community. Turf areas have been aerated and fertilized for the fall season. Brightview has begun the turf conversion project for non-functional turf areas throughout Village 1 through 4. The areas were deemed non-functional by SNWA and City of Henderson and do not meet the requirements needed to be approved as functional. These areas include one section along Color Collage Walk, Salisa Community Center, the smaller turf area in the Pocket Park at FD Poplars, one of the Pocket Parks in Sistina Pod 3-2, and the smaller turf area in the Pocket Park on Turnstone Ridge and Pod 4-4. Villages 5 through 7 and gated neighborhoods with turf areas are anticipated to be completed in 2024. The 2023 City Home Repaint Project has been completed. The 2023 City Home Roof Inspection Project was completed for buildings constructed in 2014 through 17. Maya Roofing is currently working on preventative maintenance for these buildings and anticipates completion by the end of November. KB Home successfully completed asphalt crack seal and seal coat in Pod 4-4 as part of their bond work for the City of Henderson. Facilities Department in Brightview performed a landscape turnover walk with KB Home for additional common areas and city home properties throughout Pod 6-1, 6-5, and TC1. Brightview are taking over maintenance starting in the month of November as part of the regularly scheduled rotation.
Thank you. Please start opening the bids.
All right.
I will say this.
It's okay.
No, when Inspirata was first came into an agreement with the City of Henderson, their total build out was 22,000 homes. Since then, they revised their agreement with the City of Henderson, and it's anywhere between 7,000 and 8,500 homes. That's our best guess at this time. All right, Compliance Committee update and design review of committee updates. I'm going to do it.
Okay. All right, for the compliance committee, we have sent out for the third quarter, 2,589 compliance letters. Stage 1, which are courtesy notices, we sent 1,942. That is 75% of the letters that are sent out. For stage 2, those are 257 were sent out. That's 9%, 9.93%. Stage 3 is which are hearing notices. 64 of those were sent out. That's 2.47%. Stage 4 is which are outcome of hearings. 23 were sent out. That's less than 1% of the letters. And stage 5 are continuing fines at 303. 87% of the compliance notices that are sent out have to do with, those are concerns into compliance. I'm sorry, let me rephrase. 87% of the letters sent out have become compliant before they were escalated to a stage 2. 69% of the letters sent out are for landscaping, that's weeds, tree trimming, shrub trimming, dead plants. 10% are for rubbish and debris, which is waste receptacles left out past the 12 hours timeframe of pickup. 6% are architectural, 6% are maintenance, and 6% are unsightly items. The remaining would be for decorations, painting, sports equipment, parking, noise, or pets and animals. For design review, we've had 222 applications that were processed over the past quarter. 39 were approved, 1 was declined, 94 were approved with conditions, 90 were auto-approved, and 6 were withdrawn. Again, the majority of the applications are initial backyard landscapes. We're starting to see more front yard landscape modifications, solar, and pools. The design review committee is currently working on reviewing the minimum plant count that's required and reducing that because of water usage. They're also drafting guidelines for xeriscape for xeriscape options, as well as xeroscape, which would be no plants at all, rock gardens, things like that. And those will be, once completed, they'll be recommended to the board for approval.
Hey, Tasha, social committee lifestyle updates.
For the month of August, for the fourth quarter, starting in August, third quarter, sorry. We partnered with the Henderson Police Department for our annual National Night Out. We had our community partners, safety advocates, and we're joined by the K-9 unit, our local FBI field office, Nevada Highway Patrol, Securitas, and our special guests were Congresswoman Dina Titus and Clark County Commissioner Michael Knapp. And we also had our Red, White, Blues fundraiser recipient Full of Honor. We also had Project 365, which is ongoing. We launched the Dog Worker Watch program. So far, we have 25 people volunteers signed up, and we have our first meeting this Thursday right here at Toll. So we hope you'll join us, whoever signed up. We had an estimated 430 attendees and received media coverage on KSNV, News Channel 3, and the CW. And we are in consideration for the National Night Out Awards. So when we win it, we'll let you know.
Yes.
We also held our back to school movie night. We showed the Super Mario Brothers movie. We had an estimated 175 attendees, and we were joined by our community partner, who was our newest community partner at the time, Children's Dentistry, and they gave away movie themed giveaway items. In September, we had our community fall festival. I'm thinking fall festival because it's next week. Community garage sale. There were 74 registered participants for Saturday and 40 for Sunday. We decided to do both days after we did a survey, a community survey, and most of the residents said they wanted to do it on Saturday and Sunday. We had 32 registered for both days and 8 registered for Sunday only. Compared to last year, the number of registered participants was slightly lower. We had the Salvation Army, Nevada Recycling, and Assured Document Shredding were available on Saturday only, and Goodwill provided donation services on Sunday. We had our first little entrepreneurs market. We hosted, it was with our Inspirata Homeschool group. There were 10 kid-run booths, all of which were students of the homeschool group. Products sold included handmade and baked goods, artwork, and lemonade. The school group requested us to do another event in 2024, so we will consider doing that. We had our annual Fall Kids Clothing Swap. It was hosted by Robert Conrad. We had 70 to 75 families donating, resident volunteers assisted. 382 tickets were collected at the door, which was about 88% of the tickets that came back. The average number of tickets distributed was 3. The average number of bags brought in was 6. The median number of bags brought in was 5. 13 bags of clothes were donated to 7 charities. And those numbers were provided. We continued our Master Gardener series throughout the summer. We continued our partnership with Master Gardeners. Each workshop focused on a different topic that included PowerPoint presentations, a Q&A sessions, and group discussions for neighbor shared gardening tips. Each workshop grew in attendance, and we're looking forward to continuing them in 2024. We also continued our trivia nights throughout the summer. We partner with Robot Brain Trivia to host 3 different sessions throughout each month of the summer. Each session also had good attendance, and due to the popularity, we'll also continue to use in 2024. Weekend before last, we had our annual pumpkin patch on October 7th. We had a record number for unloading pumpkins on that Friday. We had approximately 1,800 in attendance and gave away 1,400 pumpkins, 2 per household. Excuse me, the event included the Fresh 52 Farmers Market, which provided a giant pumpkin that residents can guess the weight, and when the pumpkin is still sitting in Jeff's office right now, so you can guess the weight and try to win again in Fall Fest. We were also joined by 10 partner sponsors, 6 community partners, and the Golden Girls and Guys Charter Club. And our community partner, Lala Photography, provided free professional photo shoots. And we hope you'll join us next Saturday for our annual Fall Festival from 2 to 6 in Felicia Park. Open enrollment is underway right now for the Esperanto Partner Program. Since the last board meeting, we have received 6 new community partners, all top-tier Hummingbird sponsors, and our sponsors continue to be active in offering exclusive offers and deals in the Esperanto community. We continue our recurring events, which is our the Red Cross and Vitality Blood Services, and they all report that their turnout something. The Red Cross actually had all their spots filled month before last, so that was good. The Fresh 52 Farmers Market remains on the first and third Saturday each month. The time has been changed back to 9 to 2 now that the weather's cooler. And all of our recently sanctioned charter clubs are all active and holding monthly or bi-monthly meetup meetings. And we'll continue to work with our social committee meeting to bring you even more fun and exciting events in 2024.
Okay, Community Enhancement Committee and Service Area Committee update, Shane, you're up.
Okay, well, that is a tough report. Okay, so for the Community Enhancements Committee, in partnership with the Garden Club, the committee continues to work toward the goal of creating a community garden. The budget for the design was approved at the last board meeting, and the concept is still currently being discussed. The fitness equipment is currently being installed along the east pathways behind Sylvan Kim, is that correct? North of Altera. For areas Altera, Escala, Estates, Milano Park, the terraces for Trevero and Toll Brothers, they continue to meet quarterly and are looking at future projects such as holiday decoration and researching the need to update the landscape and entrances with drought tolerant, low water usage plans.
Thank you. Okay, we're gonna move on to D, review and approve. Unanimous consent items. The board has taken the following unanimous consent action since the last meeting. They approved the 2022 audit prepared by Hilbert and Lane CPAs. They approved addendum to CCMC management contract regarding no environmental insurance policy for 2023. And motion is to acknowledge. Second. All agree? Thank you. Review and approve items, acknowledgement of investments. The board will consider action to accept investments which the treasurer has initiated to remain within FDIC insured limits for the association investment policy. I need the board to acknowledge third quarter 2023 reinvestment.
Motion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. 2024 budget adoption. Now, I know this is where you all came for, right? The board will consider action to adopt the 2024 budgets for the community as well as each service area. Board budget workshop was held on Friday, September 29th, where board and management reviewed and discussed all draft 2024 operating and reserve budgets in detail. 38 in total. We had fun. The good news is there will be no increase for 2024. Oh, wow. We have a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor? All right. Yeah. All right, our next item is consideration to approve 3-year Brightview Landscape Services Agreement. The years are going to be for 2024, 2025, and 2026. The board will consider action to approve the proposed 3-year Brightview Landscape Services Agreement for the years that I just mentioned. Proposed contract calls out to remain flat, no increase from 2023 for the 2024 year, and 3% increase for the 2025 and 2026 years. Allocation of $90,000 for tree prunage is included in the annual price. Add-on areas to remain at current pricing for the duration of this agreement. The contract start date is April 1st, 2024. The contract end date is March 31st, 2027. The service fee is $1,398,023. It includes contracted landscape services for all common areas and community and all service areas. Proposed contract and listed unit pricing, including labor, materials, and equipment, is provided for board review and consideration. Motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Toll Brothers Clubhouse and Fitness Center repainting, open and read bids. The board will review and consider action to approve proposals to repaint the Toll Brothers Clubhouse and Fitness Center. This project is a reserved expense budgeted not to exceed $8,154. Sealed bids will be opened and read aloud. Vendors who submitted bids: Unforgettable Coatings, M2 Painting and Waterproofing, and Empire Works. RFP documentation, request for proposal, was provided for board review consideration. What you got there, Jack?
I'm not painting them, but I got one more left for, Pool Tech reseal.
Okay, well, we're on paint.
All right. So. So M2 painting and waterproofing. They came out. And this is for the exterior of this building plus the fitness center. They combined the cost. Came out to a total of $10,860. They have a 10-year warranty on stucco and a 3-year on metal. Unforgettable came out at $11,980. They have a 7-year warranty on stucco and a 3-year on metal. And Empire Works came out at $11,856. They have a 2-year warranty on stucco and a 2-year on metal. Well,
Empire was 11,856.
Yeah. It sounds like M2 painting and waterproofing at the lowest price with the highest warranty.
yeah.
Yeah. But I got it.
Wow, that doesn't make sense, does it?
No, and Unforgettable did the townhouses last,
Right.
Yes.
so that doesn't.
So
let's see
a little-
that picture.
little tiny bit of history on M2 waterproofing and painting. Their VP has started his own business with another fella. And yeah, and he's a very growing business right now. He was with Unforgettable. He knows how to estimate and he knows how to do all this work. So he's become very competitive. And he would like to get his foot in the door here. So
This is how much?
his was $10,860,
And it's 7.
10 years.
10 years.
Oh, 10.
And
Yeah.
there's stucco to your.
The last warranty.
Yeah.
Do you like it?
Yeah, I have a very good relationship with him personally. Yeah.
How does this, I mean, you're telling me, you're saying it's not to 81.
Yeah, it was.
Is it? Is there,
Inflation?
and that's what I figure, is
Yeah.
it from when the reserve was set up, but
Right.
we have money in reserve.
We have money in reserves.
It always makes me think we've got to keep relooking. I mean, those need to be reestablished.
Well, when
If you
was the
see-
reserve spent?
Yeah.
Well, that's just it. Those reserves set inflation and that's changing. I know so fast.
Yeah.
Right.
That we can't keep, I said one time I didn't want to do reserve settings again because it costs so much money. But we keep seeing the same thing over and over, but at this point, $2,000 doesn't, it's not gonna make or break it. It doesn't make or break it, so I say, I go with them too at this point, I'd make a decision to do that.
That's a motion. Second,
Second.
everybody in favor? Well, you're gonna have to wait until we, yeah, we have to wait. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, the board will, amendment to CCMC management contract regarding umbrella insurance policy for the 2024 year. The board will review and consider action to approve the amendment to CCM management contract includes indemnification language regarding the standalone environmental insurance policy effective January 1st, 2024. Motion to approve amendment. Motion.
Second.
Everybody in favor?
Aye.
There's no budget impact.
We just had to skip the one, so we can finish the foods.
Right. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, we had to.
Yeah, it wasn't ready.
The deputy for our insurance.
Somebody said he was waiting.
But he's just finishing.
Just, hey, Jeff, let us know when you're ready.
I'm about ready. That is good.
All right, solicited Aventura full deck repairs for resale, open and rebids.
All right.
The board will review and consider action to approve proposal to repair and reseal the solicited Aventura full decks. This project is reserve expense budgeted, I'm afraid to say, not. Is it over? 15,436? All right, well, with inflation, remember that. Still bids will be open and read aloud. Vendors who submitted bids, Ultimate Concrete, Creative Coatings, and Unforgettable Coating. You're up.
All right. Now, there are some trip hazards out there that need to be addressed, so that's why the cost of these have gone up a little bit.
Okay.
Some concrete that's lifting and whatnot. Ultimate Concrete, Celista is at 22,149. They have a clear coat option for at 3,500. And then they have a 2-year warranty. Aventura pool for Ultimate Concrete is at 10,978. With a clear coat option of 1,750. And then Creative Coatings. Celista came out at 15,854, but they give 2 options on how to tackle the patching areas, the areas that have lost the texture and whatnot. To just do a normal patch, add texture and paint it, it's at 1,500. And then the second option would be to grind those areas down to the concrete and build it back up. It's at 6,397. They have a clear coat option of 5,285 and a 3-year warranty. Aventura is 8,244. Option 1, just a regular patch, is 1,500. Option 2, to grind it down and patch it, is 5,319. And then clear coat option is 2,748. Next is Unforgettable Coatings. They do not tackle drip hazards. They only resurface the deck. So keep that in mind. So Celista is at 9,940. Aventura is at 4,300. And they have a 1-year warranty on the product.
Okay, so we've got bids for both pools, but our budget is to exceed, that's the total for both pools?
I think that's per.
Okay,
Per.
it has to be.
Yeah, there's no way.
Okay,
I was looking at that.
who did it was Unforgettable Coatings who we've worked with in the past, they just didn't.
Ultimate Concrete.
Ultimate Concrete just did our.
They do
one.
all our decks and our pool resurfacing.
They were real high.
22.
Well, like, you know, like 2015, it's 30,000 and they were 22,149 and 10.
That's something.
Plus extras for coatings, do you typically do the coatings? The
Yeah.
clear coat?
We don't typically do the clear coat. It's just an option. It makes it look nicer. It's easier to clean.
So it's Ultimate Concrete.
So it's just,
What's that?
it's a aesthetic option.
Why does Unforgettable Coatings sound familiar to me?
Because
They
they're
paint.
the painters.
They do waterproofing too.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this, because I should put this into.
Yeah.
Yeah, do an analysis and you can,
And send it to.
finish your goals via email.
And then have Unforgettable
That's
add
right.
the
That's what I
trip
mentioned.
hazard.
All right.
Can we have them do that?
They don't do it. They'll probably have to sub it out.
Oh.
That's why they're so here, yeah. Yeah.
So I made a motion that I'd really like to put this into an
Yeah.
Excel format. and
Yeah.
request a
Your
motion.
favorite.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Adriana seconded, so all in
Yeah.
favor of that?
Okay,
Aye.
thanks. Thank
Yeah,
you.
it's
just too much.
It's too many numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And one of them
is
is here.
Yeah.
So we did the.
Okay, so now we're up to
Consideration for
landscape extras. Is that where you're at? Yeah. All right. The landscape extra proposal, pre-emergent application, seasonal plant replacements. The board will consider action to approve landscape extra proposals from Brightview for the seasonal replacement of various plants and trees throughout association and city homes, common areas. Pre-emergent application to the association's native parks for weed control and remove unsightly dead plant material at monument area at Via Inspirata and Volunteer. City of Henderson had to cut the main water line that ran along Via Inspirata when they constructed the new police substation. IB LLC is currently working on installing a water meter and backflow system near the Inspirata monument. Anticipate having a project completed by year end. Brightview wants to remove the unsightly dead plant material upon approval so that we will be ready to enhance that corner once the association has irrigation back at that location. The budget impact fall plant replacements is community operating landscape extras, $895. City homes operating landscape extras, $2,028. Pre-emergent application is community operating landscape extras, $12,889. And then the removal of dead plant material at monument area, via Inspirata volunteer community operation landscape extras, $4,451. All of this is budgeted in our operating budget. We have a motion to approve landscape extra proposals.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And our last item, ruckus replacement for park infrastructure at Aventura, Tapriola, Placenza, Solicitor Parks. Board review and consider action to approve ruckus equipment replacement for park infrastructure. At the parks I just mentioned, the aging ruckus hardware is at its useful end of life and needs to be replaced with up-to-date equipment. This project is a budgeted 2023 community reserve expense allocated not to exceed $70,000, and by golly, it doesn't. Net effect IT proposal to replace the ruckus equipment, including subcontractor to remove 18 existing outdoor wireless access points and replace 18 outdoor wireless access points provided by net effect is $56,833. Motion to approve.
Motion. Second.
Okay. All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. This brings us to our closing home forum, and you are definitely open to ask any questions that you would like.
Like, I live in this community, so I pay fees for this whole thing. I would like to know why I can't use that room over there to have my friends here play cards. Other communities allow their people to reserve their common area and use that. I mean, I realize I can rent it, but I just want to have a group of women, my friends, to play cards. Am I allowed to use that room?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Can I reserve it?
Yes.
You don't even need to reserve it unless there's a reservation already. Yeah,
So I can use it free of charge?
Yes.
yeah, so you just get a hold of Courtesy Patrol, they're much aware of it, just let them know you want to use that space and they'll unlock it for you, make sure the alarm's off and you guys use it, and then they'll lock it up when you're done.
Okay, so I can actually reserve it though, if I have 10 women coming. I want to
Absolutely.
know.
Yes.
Okay, well, that
Absolutely.
Second, it is, I'm on the social committee and we have these two events, the pumpkin event and then the big fall festival. We were told at our last meeting that we had to combine them next year. And we weren't really asked, or it wasn't discussed with us, so I'm just, what happened? Why were we told?
Okay, well, so next year we are planning to have our fall festival early in October so that we can do the pumpkin patch and everything together.
I don't think
that's gonna work. Well, if we have it at the bigger park, why do you think it won't work?
It's just too much at one time.
And
I don't know. I think it needs to be discussed within our social committee. And we have our meeting on Tuesday, so we should discuss it amongst ourselves.
And then also we run into all the schools' fall festivals as well. So I mean, we're surrounded by 3 schools who all have fall festivals in the weeks up to. And then traditionally, that's why we held it on the day of the fall festival. That's why we held it on that day that we did, because it wouldn't conflict with school. Events.
Well, the social committee definitely has the power to, we'll figure it out, so. Yeah. Good. Okay.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Yes, sir.
I have a question about Toll Brothers also, like 5th and 7th, because that's off limits except for Toll Brother residents, right?
Yes.
Why do we pay for that? Then? We pay,
You don't.
well, you just said,
Do you live in Fulton?
no,
Oh, you mean the budget that we approved?
right,
Oh, it's because it comes from their budget. So if you took a look at the budgets, which are available for you to review, they're in sections.
okay, so.
Yes.
Toll Brothers pays.
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Yes,
yes.
yes, that is a,
It's a good
Service
question
area.
though, yeah.
That's fine.
and well, we will be sending out budgets, since the board just approved it, we'll be sending them out by the end of the month.
Yeah.
And if you live in Toll Brothers, you're gonna get the master community one, and then you're gonna get Toll Brothers. If you're just in the community, it's just the community.
All right.
Just that.
Question just about, I don't have an answer, it's just, I guess, something to think about, the compliance, like how we get the emails and then like a week later, we get a letter. Like, a few months ago, like I got like the note about like my trash can being out, and I literally got the email after I had already like brought in my trash can, and then a week later I get a letter, like, so I was just thinking, I was like, in terms of like postage and cost, like, I wonder how many like issues are rectified before that letter even gets sent. But so it's just something to think about when you like start to add up those like cost postage.
Yes, sir.
I have 2 items. The first one, Doris and I moved into our house December of 2020, I'm sorry. And I immediately turned in all of the requests to the ARC, including all the CAD drawings of my pool, all the blueprints that I drew personally of the hardscape, landscape, everything, including a $2,500 check, and it was accepted. Began work and finished everything in 4 months. I went above and beyond and also turned in all of the signed completion permits by Building and Safety Henderson, and everything was taken care of, right, including pictures of old bed, and a representative from the HOA came and toured the facility, and everything was fine. I received a completion letter a few months later, no problem. Not too long ago, I received a letter from the HOA. It said it was second offense, or the second warning letter, that they said that the HOA was driving around the neighborhood and noticed that I widened my driveway without permission. Now, my driveway widening was included in all the blueprints originally submitted to the HOA. The aggravating thing was it said second offense or second warning letter, and on top of that, I find it kind of odd that the HOA drives around with a tape measure with original blueprints of the front of the homes, and then analyzes if the blueprint, if the driveway was widened. I can guarantee you, there was never ever a footprint drawing of my house, because I pulled everything out of Henderson Building and Safety on my house that I have right now. So, having dealt with HOAs in the past, I kept all of the documentation, all of the photographs, and emailed it back over, right? Actually, in conversation with somebody from the HOA, they actually discounted all those, and they said they had no record of anything on file from my house. So I sent everything over. Couple weeks later, they called up, oh, we found all your stuff. And I agree with this young lady right here that just talked about the trash can thing. I think it'd be very prudent for the HOA to do a little bit of digging before you accuse somebody of modifying their house without permission. I mean, I went above and beyond, gave you everything we needed. In fact, on that blueprint, if you guys want to check against it, I had to finish the block wall that was never finished by the builder, who walked away from it and left half of the wall built out of my own pocket, okay? So it really annoyed the heck out of me, so, because if I paid $2,500, did all the stuff, it's like, what did you guys do with it all?
You got it back, right?
Yeah, yes, he did. And I think part of the issue is when we finished school in June of 2021, we received the money back after maybe a couple months, whatever it was. And then we received a letter saying, congratulations, you're finished. Then the following year in 2022, we get another email saying, congratulations, everything's finished, blah, blah, blah. So clearly someone went through our file and noted that all our landscaping and hardscape and the pool was finished, the whole package. But then in 2023, someone sends us a second letter violation, which we never got first, saying you modified your driveway, you're in trouble, basically. So none of it makes sense. And it just makes me wonder who's doing this and who isn't doing their job, looking at our file and making notes of the dates of the things, completion and submission. Who's doing this? Because you guys are out there and you have all the records. We send them to you. Thank goodness he was able to pull up the email where we submitted the addition of the driveway portion on top. It was like an addendum or whatever. So someone, I don't know what they did with it. They didn't print it out or whatever, but it just gets annoying because when I send in complaints about my neighbor and the wall, water spilling through the wall, and I had to have an engineer come and look at it, you guys basically told me, well, it's not our issue. We don't see anything wrong with it. You need to talk to your neighbor. You need to send an email to your neighbor. And I have done that and they've done absolutely nothing. The water is still pouring through the whole length of the brick wall. And that brick wall, they actually built 2 levels up higher of the cinder block. And they never got our signature on it. They just did it. So I think what's annoying for us is you allow people to just do whatever, but other people, they need to follow those rules. And that to me is annoying, and we get it. We get that you do that with some people, and we keep really good notes. We wish you guys would keep better notes.
Duly noted. This is the first I've heard of this, and it won't be the last. So duly noted. Anybody else?
Yeah, I have 2.
Okay, go ahead.
So I live in Sparta down the way up there. And recently they started painting the curbs. Okay, red, yellow, green, whatever the.
City of Henderson?
What?
City of Henderson
Yeah.
painted the curbs?
Yeah, and, well, I don't know who's painting the curbs. I don't know.
The curbs
Okay,
are
I have no idea.
City of Henderson, correct?
Depends on if the builder's doing their bond.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the city of Henderson.
Okay, you think it's the builder?
Well, if I can think of. So the problem is that city of Henderson on their codes, they specifically say that painting curbs is okay, but it shall not be done to regulate traffic or regulate if somebody parks in front of something or whatever. And the reason why they do that is they just don't want 80 million feet of paint all over the place, looking like some, patchwork quilt. Where I live by Catania, it's so out of control with the curb painting. The other day I saw where they painted red from about 25 feet on each side of a fire hydrant, measured it off, and stopped painting halfway down a guy's driveway. So his driveway is actually painted on the curb and on the apron, red halfway. It's just out of control. I mean, there's paint all over the place, right? And so the thing is that I'm an adult. I know that I'm not supposed to park in front of a fire hydrant. I know that I'm not supposed to park in front of an ADA ramp. I mean, it's literally like, it's childish the way that they're putting all this stuff around there. And I don't know if you're driving around and everything, and I know the builders out over there, and I don't know who's doing this painting. Is it the builder who's doing that? Well,
That's Tri Point Homes, I think is your builder.
Well,
No,
and-
it was, and then it switched to.
Yeah, Tri Point Homes, and I think, I don't think they've turned over to the city yet.
Yeah.
Six days, my neighbor's driveways have been, either.
You know,
I've been.
it really is ridiculous. It truly is childish.
Okay.
You know, I mean, I wish I could.
Please look into the matter and see who is painting, and then find out what the course of action is and why they're painting it, it's the way they're painting it, and we'll get back to you. Any other questions?
The soul playground, last meeting, I thought that it was just, the agenda item was to have it inspected. And then we got notice that it was being replaced, and there wasn't much information, like, is it being, like, the whole thing being replaced, is it, like. Is it like?
Yeah.
It was approved for the
partially
playground
replaced
and the pad.
with what's
Yeah.
in, or like-
We approved that.
July's meeting,
So that's that,
Yeah.
at the July meeting.
What was it?
the playground equipment and the padding got replaced, is getting replaced, right?
And what are they replacing?
Another play structure.
Is it gonna be similar? or-
No, it'll be different. It's a different brand, a different style.
Okay, that's concerning because that's the favorite playground of toddler moms in the neighborhood.
Well,
So
it'd be,
you're gonna
it'd be
have a-
similar to be appropriate for.
Yeah, for the age group, yeah.
Because there's, that's literally the only.
In fact,
toddler-
we can probably send you, Barbara, exactly what's.
That would be fantastic.
Okay.
I would love to share that.
Okay,
And then, I did have another question too about the plants that are currently being replaced. The ones that, like the rosemary that got pulled out. I noticed that they're replacing the plants at half of what was there, and it looks kind of silly. Like there are, like, there's literally like, you know, 'cause it's between the trees, like in this area specifically, because we have attached sidewalks. So you have like this really nice, like, nicely planted, even if it's just like the aloe or the agave or whatever they are, like you can see them, and then like the next tree section has like 3 plants, like, so they went from 7 to 3. And is that,
It just depends on the plant material. I mean, this stuff grows. So we don't want anything growing into each other, creating those deep beds like we had to pull out. We get a lot of complaints about rodents and
but it's like a similar plant though, and then it's like, and so the fully planted looks nice and it's not, doesn't look, I know some of the plantings look overgrown, but some of the areas I'm seeing don't, and then some haven't been replaced yet, are they still replacing?
no. No, we're done with spring plant replacement. We're doing a small fall list, but it's mostly city home stuff.
Okay, and then
Um,
so if there's not plants replaced, does that mean it's gonna be replaced?
Yeah, it'll be on the next project
Okay.
Yeah,
it's just not-
for next spring.
And then I did want to, City of Henderson, we did that survey about like, you know, what traffic concerns do you have from the neighborhood? Did you guys ever get together with City of Henderson and talk about
we
that?
turned over all our information to City of Henderson, but we have not gotten feedback from them.
Oh, wait, can we follow up?
Yeah.
Okay. And then. Two more questions, maybe. But, and I had a question, and it kind of came up and it jogged, my mind a little bit with the homes remaining, that question. So I know we don't have an exact figure of the homes remaining, but when we talk about the homes that are the grand Inspirata plan and the homes that are remaining, are we counting the homes that don't pay into this HOA as part of the, so that's in addition to.
We are not counting any homes that don't,
Okay,
that are not part of these,
so when the builders say 8,500 homes,
anywhere from 7,000 to 8,500.
right, so anything that doesn't pay into this particular HOA is above that or not included in that.
Not included
Is that-
with us.
is that correct?
Correct, not included.
And then I just like to put in a plug for the new club.
We hear ya.
Our building stock, the price, just had we need more room. And
Yes, we hear you on that one. We agree.
And then I ran into a gentleman at the park. He stopped me. He just happened to ask me questions about the neighborhood. I'm like, I've heard you talk about the neighborhood. And he actually works for stations, and he said, you should ask stations to build you that clubhouse. Because he said, is there anything you don't like about the neighborhood? And I said, well, honestly, the only thing we're missing is indoor stuff. The only thing we don't have.
Maybe they can give that to us before they start their project.
And he's like, you should ask stations. He's like, I work for stations. We would totally build that for you. And I was like,
What was his name?
but, so I'm just wondering if we're keeping our ears open for like companies who might like to partner with us on something like that. I mean, and that's why volunteers dedicate toward that.
We're just talking about this.
Yeah.
We've actually done it. This was a discussion during budget time too, when we looked at the budgets. We are actually considering putting that conversation and feasibility. Could think could.
But now I just need a
change.
number to call.
Yeah.
Yeah, one more thing to piggyback on what this lady said right here. Barbara, I'm sorry, Barbara, about the total amount of home. It appears to me that our community will never have many board members on the HOA. Because basically what you said is that the builders continue to permit more and more homes in Inspirado, wherever the community is. Which means is the builders then continue to control our community. And I don't think you're understanding what my concern and question is, that there has to be a finite amount of homes. And I don't know what our charter says or anything like that, but the more homes they build, the harder and harder that we will be able to self-regulate or self-govern our HOA. So right now, how many builders are on board right now? Sure. Three, right? So it appears to me that what you just told me just a little while ago, that they go on, they're getting permits for all these more and more homes. Well, then basically we'll have 2 for the next 15 years.
Wrong.
Well, then please write a report with I don't understand. This is my
I know.
question.
Actually, I could probably help you with this.
Thank you.
So there's only a certain amount of land that is part of the Inspirata charter. The land is getting closer to being built out, but you have still vacant parcels that are not site planned yet, or, they don't have the final development plans. We don't have the final numbers, but there is a finite amount of land to be built on. So when those last few villages or pods, we call them, like a pod 1-4 or, 4-3, when those final pods get their maps approved and recorded, then you will have a final lot count. But like there's a vacant parcel in Village 6 that's been kind of sitting out there for a while. And I hear rumors that there's another builder that's coming in and they're gonna start work on it again. But if they haven't purchased it yet, that's not guaranteed. That could go away. You just, until it's done, it's not done, but it's not gonna be 15 years. I mean, even KB is probably done in about 3 years, 2 to 3 years, we're done.
What was your name?
My name is Krista.
Krista, thank you very much for your explanation. I really appreciate that. That is exactly kind of what data that I need. I think it'd be wonderful if there was actually a plot map that shows the entire Inspirata, like property line and what's coming up, so that we can remain a little bit up to date with that. But that's exactly what I needed. Thank you very much for your explanation.
Yeah.
We do have a community map at the office. Go ahead, Harold.
Let's get back to something enticing to Station Casino. I have no idea what social committee. We have an event coming up in December
Let's invite them.
from 1 to 5. Let's invite them, tell them just bring the tent. And you swear,
Okay.
take, I think they have states for that.
Yeah.
And let's invite them. I offered it to Hannah to see. Okay, if you look on if you look at the.com, they're not, they're stupid. Every week, On Indeed.com, we're looking for 8 to 10 people. When they have a full nightclub, they shut it down at 12
At the end.
at the M Resort. Can we contact Station Casinos, their promotional team, and say, hey, we want to introduce you to the community. All you gotta do is bring a tent, bring some people, maybe give Inspirata a separate station casino cards, like I have, my veterans stuff and all that. Hey, create a card for us and all that, we'll be very happy.
Thank you. Sorry, I have one more question. When you were referring to the turf replacement, so everything you listed for villages 1 through 4, like that's it, right? There's no other turf being replaced.
No.
Villages 1 through
We do have, so a lot of the sales, the blocks, have turf in them. But, those were deemed non-functional without modification, which means if we add a park amenity in those areas, then we get to keep it. So there is a lot of turf out here and a lot of those areas, all we have to do is put a park bench in and.
Or take
Yeah.
out a sidewalk.
I had the Village Board.
Where's village 1?
Oh, so from volunteer to democracy between Anthem and the flood channel here,
Okay,
so straight,
and all the way to by.
or, sorry, democracy.
Oh.
And then village 5 through 7 is all the new areas to the west. Mhm.
Thank you.
All right, any other questions? Hearing none? Did we have any comments from?
Yeah.
None? Okay. Those magic words, can I move for adjournment?
Move to adjourn.
Go what? Go Knights. Yes.
Yes.
All in favor, aye. Aye. 7:01.